Who were the real Peaky Blinders? With the popularity of BBC's Peaky Blinders series, I couldn't resist exploring who these notorious gangsters really were. Today, you'll discover the true story of Birmingham's most infamous street gang and how the television portrayal differs significantly from historical reality. Thanks to the show's success, local police archives have revealed fascinating mugshots from that era, showing us the real faces behind the legend. As you've seen from the title, we're diving into the authentic history of the Peaky Blinders. We begin in Birmingham around 1870. English society, and soon the entire world, was experiencing an unprecedented transformation: the Industrial Revolution. Birmingham, located in the Midlands at the heart of England, perfectly exemplifies this era. Factories sprouted everywhere, urbanization accelerated, and populations concentrated in city centers, often in unsanitary housing conditions. This period witnessed the birth of the working class. We're immersed in a typical industrial setting of the Victorian era. Life was harsh. People worked long hours in dangerous conditions for meager wages. Naturally, many of these unfortunate souls turned to illegal activities, tempted by easy money. Groups formed around alcohol trafficking, black markets, illegal bookmaking at horse races, theft, and more. Several major gangs emerged, fighting for control of different neighborhoods. A genuine territorial war erupted, settled through murders, targeted assassinations, brawls, and more violence. For over 30 years, one gang terrorized the city, the Sloggers, who would later be challenged by the Peaky Blinders. For 3 decades, these sloggers or fighters held the city in an iron grip, with no other gang able to rival them. Even the police were completely overwhelmed, barely managing to limit the damage. As portrayed in the series, which makes the characters somewhat endearing, gang members maintained fierce loyalty to each other, making police work extremely difficult and hampering efforts to dismantle these highly organized networks. Having a virtual monopoly on crime in a city for over 30 years naturally attracts competition. On April 24, 1890, the name Peaky Blinders made its first appearance in a local newspaper, which mentioned a fight involving a group of young men described as the Peaky Blinders of Small Heath, just like in the series. The origin of their name remains somewhat mysterious, but 2 main theories exist. Some translate it literally as Peak Blinders, referring to their distinctive flat caps, popular in wealthy circles at the time. The more dramatic theory, adopted by the TV series, suggests that members hid razor blades in their caps and used them to slash their victims' faces, causing them to instinctively close their eyes, becoming blinded. However, many historians consider this far-fetched. The more plausible explanation is that Peaky was simply a nickname for their caps, and blinder referred to how the large peaks concealed their eyes. Or was Birmingham slang for someone of dapper appearance? This would be the myth-busting reality. Gradually, they established themselves in Birmingham, eventually overthrowing the Sloggers. But make no mistake, the Peaky Blinders were no choir boys. They behaved exactly like other gangs: theft, racketeering, murder, and even using orphans as young as 10 years old for criminal activities. Though it might shatter the image portrayed in the series, we must acknowledge they were criminals like any others. The Shelby family never existed, a pure invention. The real Peaky Blinders weren't characterized by family ties, religious affiliation, or ethnicity. The series timeline is also inaccurate, setting the story in 1919, well after the gang's actual heyday around 1900. No one can live indefinitely outside the law. The Peaky Blinders eventually disappeared as the 20th century dawned. England's industrialization had progressed to the point where gangs were no longer tied to specific neighborhoods, but operated across entire cities. Confrontations between different gangs gradually diminished. Police finally managed to stem various trafficking operations and regain control of neighborhoods formerly dominated by Birmingham gangs. Several factors contributed to their demise: improving living conditions, the arrival of Inspector Charles Horton Rafter, known for his severity and who greatly inspired the character of Inspector Campbell in the series, and finally the outbreak of World War I. Gangs, including the Peaky Blinders, no longer had reason to exist. Members gradually dispersed and the Peaky Blinders vanished forever. Nevertheless, they left their mark on English history. Stories of the Birmingham gang continue to be told today, and Stephen Knight, the series creator, was among those children fascinated by Peaky Blinders tales from an early age. Though he takes significant historical liberties, he transformed this fascination into a compelling series. While their history is fairly well known in the UK, a mysterious veil still shrouds the Peaky Blinders. We know the names of some arrested members like Harry Fowles, known as Baby-Faced Harry, Stephen McNichol and Thomas Gilbert, who went by Kevin Mooney and was considered the most powerful member. However, we still don't know the identities of most gang members, how many there were in total, or even if they had a definitive leader. Unlike the stylish gangsters portrayed in the series, the real Peaky Blinders were young men from lower to working class backgrounds. They did have a distinctive style, wearing tailored jackets, lapelled overcoats, buttoned waistcoats, silk scarves, bell-bottom trousers, leather boots, and their signature flat caps. This sartorial elegance was part of their identity and intimidation tactics. The gang's criminal activities included robbery, violence, racketeering, illegal bookmaking, and control of gambling. Their dominance lasted until around 1920, when a larger gang, the Birmingham Boys, led by Billy Kimber, overtook them. Thank you all for watching. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments, subscribe if you're new. Until next time.